the marina at Fontana Dam. Looks like it's gonna be a beautiful day. So it's 7:26 and we are back on our way. This really is my favorite time of day. I just love the lighting at this time of day and the peacefulness of it. So it was 29 degrees when I started at the trailhead at the marina, and have my gloves on. These are smart wool gloves. My hands are a little chilly, so the next time it's about this temperature when I start out, I might just go right into wearing my down gloves. If I'm carrying them, my theory is you gotta use them if you're carrying them. I am wondering about my water filter though. I have the Be-Free filter, and I really don't know if it would freeze on the outside of my pack at 29 degrees. I mean, it's below freezing, but is it gonna be in the cold long enough to do damage to the filter? So I have a liter of water all set and ready to go. So I just shoved it inside my down jacket, inside my bag to make sure. I assume that it's gotta be warm in there, so we'll see. My battery pack and my fuel canister and my letters are all inside my pack too, so I should be fine, but I don't really think it would be a problem if it stayed outside my pack, but just taking some extra measure. Goals and objectives for today. I really can't set a series of different good, better, best goals while I'm inside the Smokies. I am required to stay in or around a shelter. So the first stop I'm gonna make is gonna be at Molly's Ridge Shelter, which is 13 plus miles from where I started today. More than likely I'll be camping around it. I verified that there's good camping there. So that's today's objective. I think at least through the Smokies, and maybe for a little while beyond that, I'm going to try to do less than 17 miles a day. See how my body reacts to that. See if it's less cranky. And then do that for a while, and then we'll try and jump up in mileage a little later. And like I've said a million times, I'm not in a hurry. I don't need to beat spring, and I think at this point that might be the benefit for me having taken a 00, is it's just gonna let spring roll in a little bit more, and see how that goes. It's interesting to report that the weather for Clingman's Dome now on the day that I hope to summit is going to be cloudy. So after all of that, I'm probably not going to get any kind of great views anyways. That's a shelter up there. I don't know if you can see it. Right about there. So I'm approaching the Fontana Dam shelter. This is what I believe is known as the Fontana Hilton. It's a pretty cushy shelter apparently, and it looks really nice. Let's get a closer view. One of the reasons why they must call this the Fontana Hilton, a place to charge your devices. How luxurious is that? Ice Queen and Piper, good to see you guys again. Greyhound, do you want to say hi?
Hi.
And bail out? Hi. And what's your name?
I'm Giggles.
Giggles. I hiked the PCT with the Giggles. It's always nice to have one along.
Last year?
2017.
Okay.
And who's the spinal covered?
I'm super chill.
Super chill. It's kind of interesting. I've never seen concrete tent platforms before. It'd be a little tricky setting up a freestanding tent on these. This is how you do it. The dam. It is a beautiful day. It is just cold. The wind is what's really cold. This is what a hydro dam looks like. All the electricity being made. Time for the Great Smoky Mountain National Park. Woohoo! It's about 9:45 now, and finally got off the road, back on trail, doing lots of climbing, and my toes are finally not feeling so tingly. My hands are warm, but as you can see, still have everything on, still pretty covered up. There's a breeze blowing that just keeps the air chilly, but the sun is warm. I say within the next 45 minutes, I'll be starting to strip down. Time for some background reveal. Since I've got all the time in the world, I'm gonna start from the very beginning. When I was 6 months old, my parents took me on my first car camping trip. And on that trip, not only did I eat a tube of toothpaste, I also learned how to walk in the back of the station wagon. A couple minutes before 10, and the delayering has begun. So anyways, back to my resume. So after that camping trip, my 2 younger sisters came along, and my parents would take us 3 girls camping at least twice every summer. I grew up in Western Massachusetts, so they liked to take us to Vermont, New Hampshire, sometimes Maine, all these trips for car camping. Never did any backpacking. Did a lot of hiking with my dad and my mom sometimes as a family. Just like short little day hikes around where we lived. And I remember one year we went to a big camping show at the Eastern States Exposition in Springfield, Massachusetts, also known as the Big E, and I won a Bob White sleeping bag. If anyone doesn't know, Bob White is a type of bird. It was a flannel sleeping bag, and I loved that thing. Loved it. It was my prized possession. It was pretty hard. So, do you remember doing Mad Libs in the back seat? And Joanne, I think you were involved in this too, playing punch buggy and finding license plates from other states and getting so excited about the ones that were really far away. And Dad would make us roll up our sleeping bags super tight. We would have to kneel on it and roll it up, and we would never get it tight enough. And we had tang with breakfast, and we had veal loaf, fried veal loaf in our scrambled eggs, macaroni and cheese. Some great memories. Good times. It has become an amazingly beautiful day. So nice. It's very warm. Pretty clouds in the sky. Just a really nice day. So, with that being said, I have been rethinking my goal for today, my destination, and it might be smarter to just go a little bit further today. I think 15 miles is where the next shelter is, because tomorrow's going to be so miserable. That would give me less mileage to do tomorrow. I would still end up at the same place because I don't want to go over Klingman's tomorrow, or maybe a shelter slightly further. Haven't decided, but we're gonna see how the day rolls out. Not making any final decisions just yet. It's way too early in the day, but I'm leaning towards that option now. I just met a dad with his son and daughter. They were probably like 9 and 10, maybe a little bit older. And they were kind of like unsure about whether they were having a good time or not. And I told them, I said, hey, I was just revisiting the times when I used to go camping with my family, and it's such good memories. And the dad walked up and said, oh, thank you so much for saying that. I keep telling him, you're going to remember this your whole life. You went hiking on the Appalachian Trail. So, yeah, it's always nice to see kids out. They were definitely indifferent about it, but I think they understood that it was an experience to remember. Now, I have got to figure out what way I'm supposed to go. I think I saw a junction that said left, but I've got to go back and revisit that tree. Left. So whenever you have two blazes on a tree together like this, you go left or right depending what direction the upper blaze is slightly off center from. So in this instance, it is left. So we're going downhill now. So glad I pulled that far out and decided to take a look to see what the pass was, or the top here. and realized that if I go to the right and go straight, there's a tower up there, Stack Tower. We're going. Yes, we are backtracking a few steps and we're heading up there. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be a good view. Got to get my views in today because Klingman's isn't looking good. Here's the tower. Let me go check it out. The tower was open. So I'm contemplating taking my pack with me so I can have lunch up there. So this is the ruins of a fire warden's cabin. And I'm going to bet that the ridgeline behind this is where I'm going. And Klingman's might be the high point over here behind the trees. Inside the Stack Mountain Fire Tower. The windows are tinted so you can't see super well. I'm gonna stick my camera on this one. I don't see any snow up here. That's a good thing. Whew. Really nice views today. This is beautiful. Fontana Dam down there. That's where I started this morning. Gotten pretty high pretty fast. A better view of the dam. Down there, that's where I was. So this is my fire tower meal. Shoes and socks off to air the feet out. Carrots, pretzels, the tangerine, and jalapeno tuna with fatty, high-calorie mayonnaise and a piece of mozzarella string cheese. I have to say, I don't believe I've ever had a lunch at the top of a fire tower before. It's quite cozy in here. And it's not very windy anyways, so it's actually really nice in here right now. So, hey everybody, look who's back.
Have definitely caused it to sort of like start screaming.
I understand.
Yeah, so I had to take a shuttle into Robbinsville.
Oh, you were in Robbinsville?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. If you don't know, everybody, this is Professor. Remember him?
What's that? Oh, talking to me.
Talk to you too.
You talking to me?
We're talking to you.
Yeah, so.
It's always nice to see familiar faces after you've been off the trail for 2 days, because you kind of lose the circle of hikers you've been hiking around. But today I've seen the Professor. You just saw him. Alabama Chowder from, I don't know, maybe 5-6 days back once when I was on trail. So maybe 50 miles or so, maybe a little more. And then Ice Queen and her dog Piper from around the bend. So, and I think I've met Alaska before. So it's nice to see some familiar faces still. I was wondering if that would happen. Also, saw Greyhound again at the Fontana Hilton. She was the one that stayed at Gorgeous Stays with me, and then I saw her at the shelter later that night at Cold Spring. So, yeah, still got a nice group of people, familiar faces around me that I know. And as you can see, I'm down to my base layers. It's about 62 degrees right now. It's perfect hiking temperature. My first snow sighting is tucked into this tree. Boy, more remnants of snow.
Introduce myself?
Yeah.
So right. I'm Alabama Chowder, Eric. I'm from Alabama. I'm a teacher, and this has been my dream, so I'm doing it.
Nice.
And Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Have you been backpacking before?
Yeah, I've done a little bit in Eastern Asia. I went to the Balkans. That was nice. I've been out to the Rockies, Wyoming, and the winds. A lot in
Yes.
Shenandoah, which we're gonna go through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've done a lot of that, and my I'm 38 now, and my shins and knees are not what they used to be. That's for sure. That's why I'm taking my rest.
Yep. Well, just give them love, and they'll love you back.
Absolutely. That's what I'm hoping.
All right. We'll see you up at Molly Ridge.
Yeah, Molly.
Yeah. Bye. Well, we're back to our original plan. We're probably staying at Molly's Ridge Shelter. It is still 3.1 miles away, and it is after 2 o'clock at this point. The next shelter is 5 miles from here. We're coming on Molly's Ridge Shelter. We got Sunny ahead here. He just gave me a liter of water at Molly's Ridge Shelter. And just like that, the plan for the day has changed again. 3 of us, including myself and the professor, and now here Sunny, have all decided to push on 3 more miles to the next shelter. It's 3:30. We don't want to waste the nice day. Well, I like the idea that it's at lower elevation.
Definitely.
And that means I can do less miles tomorrow if it gets to be really rainy and cold.
Now, you think we're going to get the plane in tomorrow?
No. Here is the Russell Shelter. Russell Field Shelter. My first night in a shelter,
I'd say, well, he's going to catch squirrels for me. And there's
and
always
this
wild
one
hickory
has a
nuts.
fireplace in it and a tarp to keep out the wind. It's going to start raining tonight, so I figured this would be better than taking down a wet tent and putting up a wet tent tomorrow. Want to say hi? You're from New York?
New York, New Jersey, actually.
New Jersey. Jazzy. That's right.
My trail name is Pockets.
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 Nice to meet you, Pockets.
Nice to
You
meet
have the professor over there. He's looking for his hat. And then a couple other folks down there. Harry and I can't remember the other guy's name. We've got 2 bags up on the bear cables. So you basically you hook the cable, hook the bag on the carabiner, which is right there. And then you pull on these black areas so you don't rip your hands up on the wire. And then there's a hook on the end, and you take the hook and you hook it onto the tree.
I guess you were saying about getting an algae. Yeah, it doesn't happen.